As we head on over into the second half of the year, this July is yet another fantastic month for new indie games with some real bangers expected out. Welcome to Get Indie Gaming, where in this video, we check out our most wanted top 10 upcoming indie games coming out this July 2021. Before we jump in, just one quick caveat. While The Little Devil Inside is still listed on various websites as coming out this July, well, that just feels really unlikely. It's been ages since we've seen any updates to this supernatural action-adventure that's also supposedly slated to be a timed console exclusive for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Given that's the case, perhaps we might see a further update for this one within a future Sony game showcase, although if it does drop suddenly this July 2021, well, we'll be sure to hold our hands up for that unfortunate error in next month's new release video wrap-up. Anyway, first up and at number 10, Boomerang X is headed out July 8th. Having spent a good couple of hours with the demo, this one is shaping up to be quite the fun and all-round unique experience. We're big fans of the art style in what plays out as something best described as a first-person arena battler with parkour elements, and what makes it so fun is the titular boomerang, which you use as primarily a weapon, but also as a device with which to move around the levels. You do this by way of transferring its flight and momentum into you, which feels great in action and after a few goes becomes second nature within the game's overall control. As an aside, you can also use the weapon alongside a bullet time mechanic, which can help your aiming within what so far looks to be a really challenging game. As this video goes up, you can download the demo from the game's Steam homepage, with it also headed out again July 8th onto the Nintendo Switch. At number 9, and something that could turn out to be pretty special. Existensis smacked us, as the saying goes, around the chops with how it looks, and while we haven't yet had a chance to play it, from what we've seen so far of this platformer, which comes with a focus on exploration, it really has a few interesting mechanics going for it. There are no enemies to fight, no health bar to worry about, and by the looks of things, no time pressure involved, meaning you can head on into the game and explore to your heart's content. What's more, and what makes this possibly even more special, is the fact the game is entirely made from visuals that were drawn and animated on paper by developer Ozzy Snedden. So yes, Existensis looks like it might be one of the most distinctive games of the year so far, with it out July 19th via Steam, and again as this video goes live, there's a demo you can play and you can find that link down in the description, which is available from itch.io. Next up, at number 8, Nothing to Remember is an interactive, immersive murder mystery that plays out via your desktop within a sleek-looking chat and instant message system that will be instantly recognizable, with it likely to really help with the game's overall immersion. Likewise too for the game's real-time mechanic, where you're playing as two different characters as you try to make heads and tails of the events unfolding around you. We're thinking, based on this trailer, Nothing to Remember will be somewhat sinister in places and, of course, by design, will offer up quite a tense overall gaming experience. Likewise, we think this will be a good one for streamers, and on that note, we will be looking to live stream Nothing to Remember on the day it launches via Steam, July 29th. Moving onwards, and at number 7, and coming from the team who brought us Virginia, Last Stop comes out July 22nd. Now the studio are calling this one a narrative single-player third-person anthology. So what does that mean? Well, this one sees you play as 3 different characters, all of whom are living in the UK capital city of London, whose worlds collide within something that's called a supernatural crisis. This game was one of the highlight features of the recent Day of Dev showcase, with it highlighting how much of the gameplay here revolves around role-playing with the 3 characters and the dialogue choices you're able to make. Given how special and perhaps how underappreciated Virginia was, we're hopeful Last Stop will deliver a top-notch narrative adventure that seems littered with David Lynch touches. Last Stop will be coming to PC and all of the consoles. At number 6 and out in early access July 14th, we have Dream Engine's Nomad Cities. Now we love a good city builder, And this is the premise here, where you're given the task of looking after a flying city, set within what the developers are calling a nightmare-infested post-apocalyptic world. Sure, there are many of these types of games to pick from, and yet, even though it's coming out in early access, it has a great-looking visual appeal, and we like the sound of you needing to balance your resources all the while keeping everything up and running, while also staving off enemy raids and attacks. There's also a really interesting feature here, where you need to build disposable infrastructure alongside more permanent upgrades, which feels like a differentiator and something we look forward to playing with. Said to be in early access for between 12 to 24 months, the game currently has around 10 hours of content, with additional features to be added over the developmental cycle. You can get hold of this via Steam or the Epic Games Store. Up now and at number 5. Who doesn't love a good old-fashioned twist on the dating sim genre? Okay, so perhaps they aren't everybody's tastes, and yet in Raptor Boyfriend, a high school romance, we're expecting a few riffs on the genre's more usual themes to keep this one front and centre come the end of the year. Coming from a 3-person team, it's heavy on influences from the 1990s, particularly 19 teens drama TV, where you play as Stella in what's also a visual novel. In fact, the developers have gone on record to say this one began as a visual novel before the story developed and evolved into something that fitted a romance-like game. This looks kind of fun and just that little bit different, and we'll be looking to play this one as part of our new live streams when it launches July 15th on Steam and also via itch.io. At number 4, and coming out in early access July 9th, we have Skylands, a sandbox RPG top-down shooter with some pretty darn good-looking pixel art. This was one of the announcements during the E3 IGN Expo, with it being set within an alternate reality Earth that's been turned into thousands of islands floating up in the air. You play as Ava in a quest that's driven by revenge, where you must build your ship from scratch and set about putting right the many wrongs you find about the place. Okay, so that sounds somewhat generic, although on paper this game's crafting and weapon developments appear pretty decently solid. The combat looks great too. Then we have how it looks. This is some, as we said earlier, excellent pixel art at work here, particularly in the characters and the environmental backgrounds. Skylands should be in early access for around 12 months and is expected to be twice the size of the early access version, with the time also being spent to fine-tune the gameplay mechanics and overall balancing of the game. You'll be able to find this one on Steam and also on GOG.com.
To all indents entering Cluster 13, behave, or I'll have you recycled.
Coming up next and at number 3, The Ascent is a single-player with co-op options action RPG shooter set within a vibrant-looking cyberpunk world. The E3 just gone saw the team at Neon Digital, an 11-person studio based out of Sweden, drop the new trailer showing off the game's stunning visuals and a mix of twin-stick shooting, looter-cum action RPG elements. Now, The Ascent really is looking ever so good. Given the size of the studio, it feels pretty amazing to see such quality visuals in what looks like something we might see from, let's call them, a AA production studio. Again, we haven't had any playtime yet with this one. However, the new trailer and footage seems to give a great indication on how the game will play out, with you carving your way through waves after waves of enemies in what looks like all of the best twin-stick shooters, an environment of mayhem and madness. The Ascent drops onto Xbox and PC July 29th, with it also coming to the Xbox Game Pass subscription service from day one. At number 2, and after the odd delay here and there, the truly beautiful looking Cris Tales arrives July 20th. Having covered this game here on the channel over the last, 2 or so years, we know many of you like us will be itching to get playing with this as soon as you're able. Now, if you are new to it, Cris Tales sees you play as Crispell, a time mage on a mission set across the past, present and future, with it using the choices you make in the game to alter and impact the game's timeline, with the action playing out over turn-based combat. As we've said before and will reiterate again, having played the recent demo, Cris Tales feels like an exquisitely put together love letter to classic RPGs, and the demo really does put all of this in fabulous light. Cris Tales is headed to PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, as well as the Xbox platforms, with it also coming out day one onto the Xbox Game Pass subscription. At the number 1 position for this July 2021, and again having featured this in our recent Best of E3 wrap-up video, we'll not dwell on Death's Door for too long. If you haven't seen that video, which goes through our top 30 games from this year's virtual E3, you can find a link down in the video description or at the top left of the screen in some desktop browsers. In any case, Death's Door comes from the team who delivered Titan's Souls, and this is likely to be our most played game of July 2021, and we're really looking forward to jumping into this isometric hack and slasher with what seems to be a supremely fast combat system, with it also, we think, offering up some puzzle platforming sections and also some kind of Metroidvania progression system. On that we're not too sure, although it kinda looks to be the case. So yes, this looks great, with it expected out July 20th for PC, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series S and X. So there we go. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing with the notification bells turned on. A huge thank you to our new members. You can join for less than $1 or your local equivalent, and in so doing you can further support the channel as we use all the money raised to reinvest and help further grow this wonderful indie game community. Either way, many thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again next time.